Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, oh boy, we're diving into something special. Something brutal, beautiful, and honestly, borderline terrifying. We're talking about the most dominant scrum in rugby history. And yes, it's the Springboks. Who else, right? Now, I know that's a bold claim. The most dominant of all time? Really? But hear me out. South Africa's scrum isn't just strong. It's a weapon. It's psychological warfare. It breaks teams. You can see the fear in the opposition's eyes when that Bok pack starts to set. We're not just talking brute strength. This is technical precision, discipline, and an insane amount of raw power, all working in perfect sync. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what makes the Springbok scrum so lethal. We'll look at specific games, legendary front rows, the infamous bomb squad off the bench, and the way they've turned scrummaging into an art form, or maybe a science experiment in destruction. But here's the thing, I want this to be a conversation. Do you think the Springboks have the best scrum of all time? Was it the 2019 Rugby World Cup final? Was it the 2023 semi-final against England? Or is there another team? Maybe an old-school England pack, or that beastly French front row from the early 2000s that you'd put above them? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get into it. Argue with me. Agree with me. Throw some names out there. I read every single comment, and I love the debates. All right, enough talk. Let's get into the breakdown. This is the most dominant scrum of all time, and it wears green and gold. When we talk about great rugby, about the matches that go down in history, people usually mention three things: spectacular tries, brilliant passes, and bone-crunching tackles. But you know what barely gets mentioned? The scrum. And that's a shame. Because if you take a closer look at any team that's lifted the World Cup, any side that truly dominated the game, they all have one thing in common: a powerful, organized, disciplined scrum. And that's where South Africa stands in a league of their own. Let's be real here. The Springboks have turned the scrum into a weapon of mass destruction. It's not just a restart of play. It's a battlefield. It's the moment where they break their opponents, physically and mentally. One collapsed scrum, then another. And suddenly, the other team doesn't even want to engage anymore. And it's not just brute force, it's psychological. I always go back to the 2019 Rugby World Cup final against England. England came into that game flying high. They had just dismantled the All Blacks in the semi. People were hyping them up as one of the most complete teams of the decade. And then, the Springboks showed up. And what did they do? They crushed England in the scrum. It wasn't even close. Turnovers, penalties, absolute domination. The English pack couldn't hold their own feed. Meanwhile, the Boks were steady, calm, ruthless. It was mechanical, clinical, and that wasn't a one-off. Jump to 2023 semi-final. Once again, South Africa versus England. Wet ball, tough conditions. And again, it all came down to the scrum. Enter the bomb squad. Fresh legs, fresh power, and what follows is basically a meat grinder. In the final 15 minutes, England just couldn't keep up. Penalty after penalty. And then the one that seals the game. That's what wins championships. But here's the thing, this isn't just about muscles. This is science. It's technique. It's hours and hours of work behind the scenes. The Springboks don't just push hard, they push smart. Coaches work with them on biomechanics, posture, breathing, timing, how to generate maximum force without drawing penalties. Because let's not forget, modern scrummaging is heavily policed. One slip-up, boom, penalty. The Springboks consistently dominate legally. That's extremely hard to do at this level. And then there's the depth. This is what blows my mind. South Africa doesn't have substitutes. They have a second starting pack. The bomb squad comes on around the 50-minute mark. And honestly, sometimes they look even better than the starters. That's insane. It completely changes the way the opponent plays. You can't risk scrums on your own half. You're scared to go for lineouts if there's chance of a knock-on. You start second-guessing. That's the power of a dominant scrum. And this is why I truly believe the Springboks have the most dominant scrum in rugby history. Not just because they win scrums, but because they change gains with them. They break rhythm, they win territory, they win mind games.
Of the front row. What do you do now? The corner, they're so good at their rolling ball, South Africa. That is a massive play. You'd have to say since deserve to come on. Really dominated this aspect. So Clark treats it. It cracks to the left. There's a penalty. Advantage to South Africa.
But hey, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe you think England's 2003 pack was better? Or the French front row from the early 2000s? Those guys were monsters. Or maybe you're old school and want to shout out the Aussies from the John Eales era. Let's talk about it in the comments. Drop your picks. Argue with me. Tell me what I got wrong or what I got right. Because I genuinely think the scrum is underrated when we talk about what wins games. And in the case of the Springboks, it just might be the most dangerous weapon in world rugby.